Welcome back to Book Break. Let's talk about Masters of Death by Olivia Blake. We have just wrapped up the first ever Book Break book club. We have had a week of activity. It is all still online on the internet. I will link below to where you can find everything if you haven't joined in so far. All of this has been themed around reading Masters of Death together by Olivia Blake, which I have done. And let me tell you about it. Masters of Death was actually my first Olivia Blake book, so I didn't know what to expect, and I wasn't expecting quite how fun and funny it was going to be. I absolutely loved this. It's a really good-humoured fantasy that is also very moving and powerful and heartbreaking in points, but kept me laughing and entertained the whole way through as well. To sum up the plot, our main character is Viola, who is an estate agent and also a vampire. She has a very difficult job right now because she is trying to sell a house that is haunted. Its last owner was murdered, and so the owner is very angry and does not want the house to sell. And so every time Viola hosts an open house and people come to look at it, Tom, the former owner, who is now the ghost in the house, plays tricks on everyone and basically scares everyone away. So this house, which is a beautiful manor house, has become unsellable. So in order to fix this situation, Viola enlists the help of a medium called Fox D'Amora. But it turns out that Fox is actually a complete fraud. He is not a real medium. What he is, though, is the godson of Death himself. And Death has recently gone missing from the world. And so Viola and Tom and Fox end up getting sucked into this much bigger conspiracy than any of them had wanted to be involved in. It turns out that the fate of the world is actually in their hands and that they must play a very mysterious game, a game that only the immortals are ever supposed to play. As well as a ghost and a vampire and the godson of Death himself, the friendship group involved in this book also includes a demon, a Norse god, an angel, a reaper. Honestly, I never thought I would enjoy the company of a demon so much, but Isis is such a brilliant character to read. The book has these gorgeous illustrations in the end pages, so you can see the beautiful characters. I love these so much. I have actually downloaded some of these to be my phone background. I will show you as the vlog goes on. This was part of the book club fun we had as we got the illustrator to turn these into downloadable phone backgrounds. So my work phone is now looking exquisite. Oh, and there are also different illustrations throughout the book as well. It's a beautiful book, honestly. If you joined in with any of the book club activity over the last week, I would love to hear about it. Do let me know in the comments below. And if this is the first that you're hearing about this, I really recommend Masters of Death by Olivia Blake. It was such a fun read. I was hooked. As well as this magical quest and found family vibe with this amazing cast of characters, there are also love stories throughout, and they were pulling at my heartstrings so much. I don't even know who is my favourite pairing. Actually I do, it's the one that broke my heart the most. The plot of the book is really clever. You do have to pay attention. I actually had to read one section twice to fully get my head around all the different ways everything linked up. Olivia Blake's brain is on a whole other level, but as well as the plot being so clever, the writing's just really witty. I should have known it was going to be. I have actually met Olivia, or Alexine, it's her real name. I've met her a few times and she is hilarious, so I should have predicted that the book was going to be as laugh out loud as it was. So let me show you an overview of how our first ever book club went, because it has been a blast. It's been really fun. So I'm going to show you just some of the activities that we had. If you missed last week's video, which kicked off the book club week, we had Olivia here on the channel and we actually set her a pretty challenging quiz about Masters of Death and also about our whole back catalogue. So I will link to that video below if you want to go back and watch it. But for now, keep watching because let's have a look at how this week went. I just need to show you something very exciting. The special editions are in. These are gorgeous. So we have the Waterstones exclusive edition. Looks much the same, but look at these sprayed edges. And then for our subscription boxes, this is the Fairy Loot edition. Whole new colour scheme. Red spreads with the skeleton design. This is fantastic. And for a Luma crate, this one's totally different. We're going all black and silver and red. Of course, more spreadsheets, and look at this. I love it so much. I had to show you this.
I loved reading Masters of Death. I think it's probably Olivia's funniest book ever. There's such a big cast of characters, they're all really eccentric and fun. There's a lot of yearning, which is typical of Olivia. There's a lot of philosophical quandaries, I suppose you could say. But it's tied together in such a really heartwarming way. Like, don't know if I would say that for all of Olivia's books, but for this one, the ending is just like, wow, chef's kiss.
So Masters of Death is a found family excellence. I absolutely loved it. The whole cast of characters are so witty, so funny, and just like so sassy as well, and that's what I love in a book. It's also such a page turner. It made me think, it made me feel kind of smart, which I love.
We are in the post room packing up goodie bags for 15 lucky influencers. Here's what they're getting. So the book club has officially started. It's day one, the first video is live. I'm starting to see comments coming in, people posting with the hashtag. It's
getting all their copies as well.
Getting all their copies, everyone's copies are arriving. What a day. You, Caroline, are halfway through it.
I am.
Correct.
Yeah. Do I have to be here right now? I would much rather be reading.
Wouldn't we all?
Oh, well, that's true.
Yeah, I'm jealous that you get to still be living this fun during this week. I have a question for you.
Okay.
So the first day of the book club, the online component of it today was a video with Olivia Blake. It actually just went live like 5 minutes ago when we're filming this. So that was the game that we played.
Yes.
That we had Olivia Blake came in and we set her a game, which is very topical because Master of Death is all about a game. I think our game was even harder than the game in here. So
probably, yeah.
You'll have to go and watch. That was last week's video. Go back and watch that one. But we set all of the various questions, including like a would you rather question.
Ooh, okay, yeah.
So I want to see, I don't know how much you were paying attention on the day she came into film. To be fair, I don't even know if you were in the room at that point or doing something else at that point. But one of the questions we asked her, and I think this is a good question for you because I know you have read the Atlas 6,
Okay.
is would you rather be stuck in a lift, if you were going to get stuck in a lift, with Ezra from the Atlas 6
Okay.
or Volos from Masters of Death?
I think I'd rather be stuck with Ezra.
Because he's not king of the demons.
Well, yeah, and I feel like I can take him because he's not king of the demons. What did Olivia say?
So she said the opposite.
Oh, wow.
So she said she'd rather be stuck in a lift with Volos because if she was with Ezra, he would just leave and then she'd be alone in the lift.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair.
And she said she'd rather be stuck in a lift with a demon king than on her own. Which honestly I relate to. I hate being alone.
I feel like I'd rather be stuck alone.
You'd rather be alone than with a demon king. Okay, well.
I always have a Kindle on me, so.
That's true, so you'll be fine. Well, that's the difference between you and Olivia Blake.
There you go.
I have two things to show you. Number one, I have just been uploading chapter 1 of the audiobook, ready for that to go live as part of our book club activity, and it is so good. This book was just made to be listened to on audiobook. Listen to this.
Hello, children. It's time for death.
Isn't that so good already? Okay, and the other thing I want to show you, please excuse how terribly cracked my phone is. Ignore this. This is my work phone, so do not tell anyone that I work with that I've broken it. But the illustrator has adapted the end page artwork so that it can be downloaded as phone backgrounds. And look how beautiful. I've got my boys. And I put Isis on my home screen because she looks so cool just chilling there. You can download all of those things. They're still all up there on the main page, which is linked below. Go, 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 get everything.
If I was a character from Masters of Death, I think I would be Viola, who is the vampire estate agent. She has a really fun sense of wit, which now sounds very big-headed now I'm saying that. But she's really funny, she's really down to earth. She goes for a guy that she probably shouldn't, which, you know, relatable.
If I was a character, I think I'd be Fox, just because he's a depressed bisexual at the beginning, and I really relate to that. Not the playboy part, you know, we see him become more vulnerable as the book goes on. So.
Today's exciting news is that the Which Character Are You quiz is now ready, and I am going to actually do this live with you and find out who I am in this book. Just based on my own gut instinct when I was reading the book, who did I kind of relate to the most? I think that I am Fox, because I am a fraud. Because I am a compulsive liar. I just liked Fox, okay? I just think I'm a Fox. However, if the quiz wanted to tell me that I was a Myra, I would probably be the most flattered by that. Okay, we're going in. What Masters of Death character are you? By the way, remember that I will link below to the landing page for the whole book club, so you can go over and find all of this, do the quiz yourself. Question 1, what would you like to do in the afterlife? Take revenge on those that wronged me? Down to cause a little chaos, torment a few people? One of the answers is ideally I'd finally be able to have some rest, and honestly, I love sleeping, so I'm gonna go with that one. Describe your dream home. Oh my goodness, I change my mind on this every day. Do I want the Barbie dream house? Do I want the Mojo Dojo Kaza house? I just don't know. A welcoming place for my friends to hang out sounds like a good option. Let's go with that one. What outfit would you pick for Halloween? So I usually do not dress up. And one of the answers here is I hate dressing up on Halloween. I don't hate dressing up. I don't really like Halloween, so I don't really like scary things. So I could pick that, but it feels like that's not truly accurate because I love dressing up in general. So one of the options is Barbie, and seeing as I did just reference Barbie, we're going with that. What's your favorite supernatural movie? None of these are terrifying. Like I said, I don't like scary things, so Twilight is an easy choice. And I genuinely was obsessed with Twilight back in the day. I went to all of the midnight screenings when the movies first came out. I had posters. I had a life-size cardboard cutout of Jacob in my bedroom. So Twilight is a very honest choice. What would be your ideal date? Fancy restaurant rooftop bar is a classic. A trip to a museum or bookshop would be great. Ooh, I kind of love the idea of something cheesy like bowling or mini golf. Yes, I love organized fun. What's your favorite board game? All of them. I love board games. Like I said, I love organized fun. Mousetrap. Mousetrap is so good. I literally just bought Mousetrap. Have you ever played Mousetrap? You actually assemble it. It's 3D. You assemble this whole Mousetrap, and then it's I can't remember the name of the word for when something is like a machine that triggers the next reaction, the next reaction, the next reaction, but it creates one of those and then catches a mouse at the end of it. It's really clever. I'm gonna go with Mousetrap. Rube Goldberg. That was the name I was looking for. What's your star sign? Gemini. The results, oh, unexpected. I'm Viola. You're Viola Marek. Good-natured and go-getting, you never let little things, like, say, being undead, get you down for too long. I'd say I'm pretty good-natured. You have a great sense of humour, if I say so myself, and love spending time with friends, catching up over some wine or a juice box or two. You know what? All of those things are very true. I actually now think that this is quite accurate. And did I not mention that I am, in fact, undead? You should go and take the quiz now.
Yes.
And then we will tell you who she is.
Yeah.
Do you have your phone? She's gone. Bye. Oh, look who's here. She came back. Right, you ready to do the quiz?
I am. I'm excited.
Okay, so you're rooting for Viola?
I am reading for Viola or Fox.
Yeah. I'm gonna stalk your answers.
You're asking the tough questions here.
Drum roll. She's Viola! Surprise! We're a team full of Violas.
What does that say about us?
Okay, good news for you. You are free to go. Your job is done. Now you can go back to reading your book. Somehow, time has raced along so quickly. We have actually reached the end of the Book Break Book Club. That has been such a fun and exhausting week. I've loved seeing how many of you have been reading Masters of Death along with me this week. If you haven't read it yet, it's not too late. You can still join in. Everything is still live online. So for example, I've been posting reels a couple of times a day on our Instagram at BookBreakUK. I've clearly marked all of them. All of the thumbnails say open me when you get to a certain chapter, so you won't accidentally find any spoilers. But it's been really fun getting to chat with people in the comments every time there's a big reveal, every time my heart broke in the book, which was a few times. You will see me have some serious emotional reactions in those reels, so you can go and watch those if you haven't already. But I've just had so much fun chatting to everyone, reading this book all at the same time. I don't even know what my highlights of the week were. There's been so many fun things. I obviously loved meeting Olivia Blake, doing the quiz with her. She is just hilarious. But I think actually one of my favourite things to watch was the video that she made on the mythology that inspired Masters of Death. It was really, really interesting, really informative. I learned so much. So again, everything is going to be linked below. You will not struggle to find everything. I will lay it all out clearly, but go and watch that video because it was fascinating. And she really explained all the different inspirations for the book and then which bits she just made up entirely. So if you're one of the people who joined in the Book Break Book Club, thank you so much. It was so much fun. And if you haven't yet read Master of Death, like I said, everything is still live. So pick it up now. What are you waiting for? You can still join in with everything that we've got going on. It's all laid out on that landing page I told you about, so you can find everything. And it's such a good book. Generally, this book is so much fun. It's so page turning. It's so funny. It's so moving. I'm an Olivia Blake convert. Which one should I read next? And what I want to know from you is, this is not going to be the last Book Break Book Club. This has been such a fun week, so I definitely want to run one of these again. So what I want to know is, what book would you most like us to read all together next? If we did another one in a few months, if there are any books that you are really highly anticipating out at the end of this year or early next year that you think it'd be really fun to read together as a Book Break Book Club, then let me know in the comments and I will see what I can do. I'll put a playlist here of all of the videos that we've got starring Olivia Blake, about Olivia Blake, everything you might need to know. If we've piqued your interest, I will link to it all here so you can click through and have a watch. And I'll see you next time.
I think I'm Viola, because...
Keeping that in. Keeping that in.